Hi, Miss Boteo. So I just interviewed Mr. Legos, and I was wondering if you may have some time for me to ask you some questions.
Yes.
Okay. So today we're talking about transitional living, and we're talking about what to do when you're actually in college, where you live and all that good stuff.
Okay.
So, first off, where did you go to college?
So I went to Loyola Marymount University for undergrad. Is that what you need? Undergrad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I lived there. And that is located kind of by UCLA, by the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still about a 25-minute drive from my mom's house when I first went there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good because I lived there, but I could come home on the weekends if I had to.
Okay. So you actually lived at LMU.
Yes.
Where did you live?
So my first year I lived in the dorms, and it was McKay Hall, which was all girls. And we lived in a suite, which was 2 girls, and then we joined another room, and then the 4 of us shared one bathroom.
Oh. So how did you find that place?
It was okay. I would have, I guess I would have preferred to live in the hall with all the, like in Desmond, or one of the other halls where all the girls shared one bathroom at the end of the hallway. I mean, I loved having our own bathroom, but I think that I didn't really like the girls in that hall. They were very snotty.
Oh.
And so they put the 2 Mexican girls with the 2 black girls, and we liked our suite because we liked each other. Mm-hmm. But we were like the only people of color in the whole hall.
Oh, wow.
And, of course, they put us right across from the trash chute. So that was not pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
But, we liked each other, but we didn't at all like the other people who lived there. And all the girls in Desmond were very cool, and I was mostly there. I think I hung out there more. Mm-hmm. But then in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th years, we lived in apartments.
Mm-hmm. In your apartment, who did you live with?
So we lived in Loyola apartments in the first year, and then after that, Hannon, and then after that, we lived off campus, and we basically made friends. Mm-hmm. We stayed together, the girls in our suite.
Oh, okay.
But we also made friends with some other women, and we shared an apartment with them. Mm-hmm. So,
if you don't mind me asking, how much was the apartment at that time?
I don't know. It was all housing, LMU housing.
Okay, so all 4 years were all LMU housing. Okay, so then how did you find those areas though? Did you have to go talk to anyone? Did you?
So at LMU, you're guaranteed housing every year. It's a lot of tuition. The money is all part of your packet. Mm-hmm. But because I was very poor, I got a lot of financial aid. Mm-hmm. So I basically paid $300 a month, I think.
Oh, wow.
Total.
And that's from actually applying to financial aid and going through that. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and so it was lottery. So wherever you lived, you're guaranteed housing, but you're not guaranteed where.
Okay.
So they would pick, and then if you got Loyola, then you got to live, in the apartments or whatever.
Okay. Yeah. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Do you have any stories about your roommates, or just living with your roommates or anything?
Yes. So our first, the 2 women that we lived with played basketball on the basketball team. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So it was cool. They were very, very cool, and we got to learn a lot about like women's basketball at Loyola. Mm-hmm. And then in the 2nd year, the apartment that we stayed in, it was my friend and I were basically together for 4 years, and we lived with different people each year. Mm-hmm. But in the apartments, we still stayed with one of the basketball players, and then we lived with this other chick who was crazy, and her rockabilly boyfriend who would do crazy things. So we only lived with them for 1 year. Mm-hmm. And after that, we moved in with our other really close girlfriends and stayed with them for the last 2 years. And they were cool. Like, the worst thing that ever happened to me, because there's a lot of crazy people in the dorms. A lot of drunk white people is basically, no, just kidding. But a lot of crazy people and fraternity boys who do things that are inappropriate. So one of the things that happened was at Hannon, we lived on the bottom floor, which had a window that was directly connected to the parking lot. Mm-hmm. So one time we had this guy who like ran through our whole apartment. Like, he just came in through the window, through the parking lot, through our window, and then just kept running. Uh-huh. And it was very, who the hell is that? It was very funny and scary at the same time. Basically, he just didn't know where he was. But when we were in Hannon Apartments, we lived right next door to male basketball players who were very, didn't know how to cook, but were really nice. and protected us from like the crazy frat boys that would sometimes do things that were inappropriate. But we would just go call those 7-footers and they would come and help us out.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it was cool. We made a lot of friends with athletes. They were very always open, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So did you go home to see your family a lot? Since you were so close?
Yes. Sometimes, like the first 2 years, like every Friday, we would leave and every Sunday come back. It was part of like, I don't know, we were just lonely, I think, for our neighborhood. And my mom would, you know, my mom's cooking and washing, doing our laundry and stuff like that. And that was like the first 2 years. And then after that, I think it became less frequent. We stayed in the apartments more. I think we were more comfortable after that. But I always knew that I could go home anytime, which was a good feeling. That you don't have to be stuck, you know, at the school if you're not happy. You know, on the weekends you could go home and stuff. But it was good during the week because you're just being there. You could always, ¿cómo se dice? Like you had the freedom to be home, or if they were having a dance or someone was having a party or something, you could always stay at school. But then you had the freedom to go home if you needed to.
Thank you. Did you work at all during that time when you were in college?
The whole 4 years, yeah.
Oh, wow. What did you do?
So I was lucky. Being in a small school, you're very lucky to get good jobs on campus. And I had work study. So I got a job as a TA for a history professor in freshman year. And I just was able to hook that up because my friend was a senior like the year before I got there. And he told the professor, like, oh, hire her, she'll be really good. And he just hired me like that. And for 4 years, I was his TA. So in freshman year, I did a lot of, like, clerical work. And then as I got older, then I could be his TA. So I could go to his classes and give his tests and run his Scantrons and make copies for him and do research for him and things like that. So he was really cool, Dr. Tiedemann. And I worked for him for 4 years. And it was really cool because I could go to his office while he was lecturing and do my homework in there and study. I just had reign of his office.
Oh, wow. That must have been exciting to work for a professor.
And then I could just listen to them, like, BS, all the history professors, like in the office and in the lounge. I would just learn. I learned so much from them.
That's so awesome.
As they just sat around and chatted. They were so smart. You know, I was a history minor, so I was in that area a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, it was cool.
So along with working, how did you learn how to budget?
Budget. Well, the thing about living on campus is that you don't need anything. Like, everything's there for you. So you have your meal card, and your rent is paid already. And so if you have, like, a refrigerator to buy goodies,
the big refrigerator or the mini fridge?
We had the little one. So we would just buy, like, juice and water and soda and things like that, and then just snacks. And then we ate in the dining hall. And then when we got our apartments, we didn't really eat in the dining hall anymore. We would just, sometimes we ate, like, the first, like, year 2. And then year 3 and 4, we just bought our own food at the market. And so we used that money. Instead of the dining ticket, we used that.
Was it difficult to budget with the amount that you had?
Yeah, I lost a lot of weight in college because I was, like, broke all the time. So we would just buy, like, what we could eat, you know, like we'd buy rice and vegetable, like frozen mixed vegetables and soy sauce and lemon, and eat, like, white rice and vegetables all the time, like fish sticks and things you could cook fast, quesadillas, stuff like that. But we didn't really make meals because, you know, we were always studying and people ate at different times, so you would just cook for yourself, you know.
Thank you, Ms. Botero. I don't want to take too much of your time, but any last words of wisdom for the fellow juniors?
I think that you have, if you can live away from home, you should. And I think that you have the benefit, we have the benefit, you all and I did when I was young, of not having money at home. So the benefit of financial aid, which enables you to live on campus. And that's just, it's a whole new world. And the more that you can get away, the better, because eventually you're going to come home. You know, you're going to come home to live. You're going to, when you graduate, you're going to find a job around here. You know, you never know. But living at school opens up a whole new world of opportunity for you, and I really highly recommend it. And even if you have to go to community college first for 2 years, transfer to a college and then go live there. You know, I think that that's going to change your life in a way that you can't ever predict. And that's what I would recommend.
Thank you so much, Patea, for your time.
Oh, you're welcome. See you later.
Bye.